Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here with the Broken Buddha. Today is going to be, I hope this doesn't go too long. I'll try to keep it under 3 minutes, but it may be a little bit of a long video. I want to talk about lies of Exodus. If you follow this, you know that I follow and study a lot of different religious scriptures. My core is a Judeo-Christian core from where I started. I eventually leaned more towards the Gnostic side or salvation through knowledge side. And that's where I'm coming from with this. And to be honest with you guys, I take all this stuff really seriously. So to realize this is not me trying to alarm, upset, or change anybody's thoughts on these things. I was actually really upset on the idea that clergy would do this because that's what I see this as lies of clergy. This has nothing to do with, any entire people. I myself I'm 13% Jewish, so it's not really something that I'm not like shaming anybody for this, but let's just get right into it. So, as far as I can tell, almost everything in the book of Exodus is a lie, from Moses's beginning to his middle and his end. The We'll start at the beginning. So, the baby in a basket story, I believe, and so do a lot of others, that it was mirrored from a man named Sargon of Akkad. And his life was approximately like I think 500 to 700 years after the supposed Moses. But there seems to have been some type of like revamping or reorganizing and even stealing of different things, and that's what I've noticed with Judaism inherently. It's literally just a hodgepodge of stolen pieces from different religions, and I'll get to that in a video coming up today, which will be a Christian Contemplation Series Conclusion Part 2. But so I don't want to get into that right now. But that story was pulled in from there. Now, let's go right into the Jews being enslaved in Egypt. There is no historical record of millions of Jews or hundreds of thousands of Jews ever being enslaved in Egypt. There are records of Jewish citizens, regular working class citizens in Egypt, but there is, and I mean not even just like within Egypt, there is no record anywhere other than the Jewish faith saying we were millions of slaves who built the pyramids, and you know Exodus and all these miracles happened. That never happened. There were never a large mass of Jewish slaves in Egypt. There was never a large exodus of Jewish slaves out of Egypt. And now I'll move right on to the end. So, okay, so we'll go on to the ending where the miracles are. So, Ramses the Second is who all this is based on. And Ramses the Second, not only like the story of an Exodus has you believe that he had, one kid that was murdered by God for Moses, and then, he was killed by Moses with the Red Sea falling on him. None of those things happened. Ramses the Second had like 80 to 100 children and was known as one of the greatest warrior pharaohs of Egypt of all time. And that's probably why that story was made up. And he didn't die in the Red Sea being flooded. He had a full on life, and then I actually didn't look up how he died, but it was not through a miracle of the Red Sea. And it was not after his only child, his firstborn only child, was killed by God. So I'll have to go back and look at that. But this video is not about Ramses II. It's about just pointing out all the lies. Now, I was actually pretty disturbed. Again, the reason I'm making this video is to just share this. I mean, I'd rather people know now than find out later, that like I did. But this is obviously a fabrication of Jewish clergy, and that's what really disgusted me and broke me down about this. That people who were supposed to be the leaders and guides of a faith of a people would steer them like that and do them dirty like that, as they say where I'm from. So between the stolen birthing and, like I said, it's not the thing that really messes me up. And where the point is that there were never a mass of slaves in Egypt. There was never a mass exodus of slaves from Egypt, and that is not the stories of Ramses II didn't really exist. So I mean, it's almost like whatever Jewish clergy did that had just wanted to use Ramses II being one of the great warrior pharaohs to make themselves look good and to tell people. And if you think about it, I mean, that entire Exodus story is a major part of what created modern Zionism, right? So you have this idea that the Jews are God's chosen people. All humans were created, from my understanding of all religions. We're all equal. You know, we're all on an equal playing ground. If you're in a human body, you're on an equal playing ground, and that's where the entire idea came from. That's where Zionism started. So you have, you know, a multi-thousand year lie being expounded upon, and nobody's doing anything about it because, you know, and it's even because of Exodus. Oh, you can't say anything about, you know, the chosen people. They've been tormented more than everybody, and, you know, they're God's chosen people. This all comes out of Exodus. And I am not anti-Semitic. As I said in the beginning, I am 13% Jewish, and I am proud of it. I was more proud of it before this realization, but I'm still very proud of all my heritages that I'm part of. You know, my original Homo sapien African DNA, my Euro DNA, my Jewish DNA. I'm proud of all of it. You know, it's a lot of struggle and lives went into that. But, you know, these are the kind of things that we need to deal with and start putting everybody on a level playing ground. You know, we shouldn't be treating anybody in any country or of any culture special or different because of something that has already been completely been disproven. So I'm gonna keep this one pretty short. I'm not gonna let it run over too much more, but that's it. I mean, I had to share this. I was devastated that clergy would do this to their own adherents. But you know, if you look at Jewish history religiously, they've got no problem tearing down their own or even killing their own sage, which is very unique to a religion. No other religion ever did that. Or to deny and kill your own sage is just that's never happened. I mean, look it up. There's no other religion that ever did that. All right. At least not the main sage. There were other sages and yogis killed who got more popular than the head of religions, but that's different. That's not what we're talking about here. So that's all I got for you on this Lies of Exodus. Do your own research. Always do your own research and look these things up. Don't take Monk Joseph's word for it. But thank you for stopping by the Broken Buddha. Peace and blessings.